everybody. A while back, I broke down the 10 best tips for writing fight scenes, and today I'm hitting you with the worst. Fight scenes are a struggle for writers because it's really easy to fuck them up. And boy, will these tips help you do just that. Some of these points are actual pieces of advice that I've seen, horrifyingly enough. Others are just mistakes people always seem to make. You will probably recognize them because they happen so damn often. Number 5 is the one that I personally find the most ridiculous and hysterical, but let me know which one's your favorite in the comments below. Before we dive in, I want to give all my love to Pro Writing Aid, who has sponsored today's video. Pro Writing Aid is an amazing platform that not only helps writers edit their work, it also helps them understand those edits so they can improve their craft. It's not just a grammar and spell checker, it's also a style editor that offers tons of education, including quizzes, articles, reports, and even videos that can help strengthen your writing. Plus, if you don't understand one of their suggestions, you can just click the little orange eye in the corner. It'll give you a detailed explanation, plus some videos to help you understand the why behind the suggestion. One of the features I love is the summary report, which basically helps you set up an editing roadmap. It shows which parts of your writing are looking great, what needs some work, and it gives you the highlights for each of the key reports so you know where to focus your time and energy. But Jenna, I plan to hire a professional editor for my manuscript. And you absolutely should, but you should never, under any circumstances, send a first draft to your editor. You absolutely need to self-edit your work first, multiple times. That's why I love Pro Writing Aid. It makes the self-editing process so much easier so I can ship my manuscript off to my editor and feel confident about the work I'm presenting to them. You can try Pro Writing Aid out for free. However, if you're interested in using their premium platform, which is the platform that I use, you can get 20% off right now by clicking the link in the description below. That's 20% off just for you because Pro Writing Aid is awesome like that, so click the link and save some money. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion and the Savior's Sister are available right now. You can get them in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. They are all over the place. So if you like dark fantasy, if you like romance, if you like bloodshed and action, definitely pick these books up. Now let's get into the 10 worst tips regarding writing fight scenes. Please do not implement any of these tips unless you want to piss your readers right off. Number 1, the play-by-play. Some of you writers are out here crafting your fight scenes like it's the hokey pokey. He put his right fist in, he pulled his right fist out, he connected his left foot with his enemy's left knee and then pushed to the ground using excessive force, causing his enemy's left knee to crumple to the ground, and then his right hand to spring out in order to stabilize himself, and then he shakes it all about. Writers are taking show don't tell to the ultimate extreme. We get every single detail of the fight, each move the character makes at the exact moment using the most precise terminology. It's so goddamn specific that it slows the pace to the point where the fight feels like it's happening in slow motion. And isn't that what we all want? A high-stakes fight scene that moves at a glacial pace. Wonderful, carry on. Number 2, have you tried world building? You know what makes a fight scene extra intense? When you stop the action to build the world. Because that's what readers are looking for in that moment. Not blood or impact, trees. I don't want to hear about your main character's mortal injury. I want lengthy descriptions that set the scene. Even though they fought in a forest really tells me all I need to know. I don't want to hear about the strikes and maneuvers. I need at least a page detailing the villain's armor. Top to bottom. Trust me, this is what people expect out of a violent edge-of-your-seat battle. It won't destroy the tension at all. The most visceral fight scene is one featuring pages upon pages of info dumping. Number 3, emotional shift. The enemies just exploded through the gates. Debris and dead bodies litter the ground as rival soldiers destroy everything in their path. But your main character locks eyes with one soldier in particular, nay, a prince. His eyes are a glistening blue, as deep and turbulent as the ocean. His hair is long, silky strands of jet black, tumbling over rippled, muscular shoulders. He's got a jawline that could cut glass, an ass you could bounce a quarter off of, and dark bronze skin, even though he's somehow still Caucasian-coded. And your main character is taken aback by how unbelievably handsome he is, how their loins are burning with heat and desire, in the middle of a fucking ambush. While their comrades are being murdered beside them, your main character is popping the boner of a lifetime. Because that's what the emotional focus of your fight scene should be. Horniness. You know, I thought fight scenes were supposed to evoke fear or rage, but clearly arousal was the way to go. Number 4, 1 against 50. When writing a fight scene, it's really important to stack the odds against your main character. And the best way to do this is to pit 1 against 20, or 50. Or 100, what the fuck ever. Your character doesn't have a machine gun, a grenade, or a weapon at all, yet somehow they single-handedly annihilate an entire fleet of soldiers, minions, werewolves, or whatever else you throw at them. 3 to 5 makes sense, especially if the character is trained or has some kind of magical power on their side. But 50? Sounds legit. I'm sold. I mean, after all, the bad guys are approaching him one at a time. That's how all bad guys fight, in a single file line just waiting their turn. And after he's killed the first 15 without receiving a single blow, it's not like the rest of the guys would realistically just, you know, leave to save their asses. We all gotta die someday, am I right? Which brings us to number 5. This isn't even my final form. We all know some characters in some stories gotta have plot armor. It happens. However, what if instead of plot armor, we give them absolute invincibility? The biggest of big dick energy. Your character is just the 12-foot schlong of all fighterly characters. A character so overpowered, so impenetrable, it borders on ridiculous. Extra points if the character has no practice, experience, magical assistance, or superpowers to rationalize their insane capabilities. Triple points if they never, not once, get injured. Quadruple points if they do it all in the most impossible circumstances. For example, their leg has been chopped off in the middle of battle, or they are actively giving birth while fighting. Nothing makes you root for a character more than knowing that literally nothing can hurt them whatsoever. Number 6, technical jargon. All parts of the writing process include a significant amount of research, and fight scenes are no different. You've likely researched weapons, fighting styles, injuries, and fatalities to make sure your fights are realistic as possible. What some writers don't realize is that's not the entire purpose of their research. You need to take that research and jerk yourself off with it. Tell everyone all of the jargon, maneuvers, and medical terminology you learned. Otherwise, how will they know about your smart brain? It doesn't matter that a lot of the terminology you find will come across as clinical or not era appropriate. And it certainly doesn't matter that powerful verbs pack a far better punch than specific fighting lingo. What was the point of doing all that research if people don't know that you're better than them? Slow down the pace, destroy the immersion, and exhaust those fancy-dancy words you've been dying to use. I support you. Number 7, the bird's eye view. A lot of writers want to give readers a bird's eye view of a fight, particularly a battle sequence. That way they can see everything that's going on. I mean, if you think about it, this is the best choice, because what point of view is the most riveting during a fight scene? A bird, flying high above, not involved in the carnage or danger at all. With an overhead view, we aren't experiencing the fight through a character, so we are completely cut off emotionally and viscerally. But that's fantastic, because, I mean, really, who wants to be invested in a fight scene? Tension, fear, excitement, and desperation? For losers, really. High stakes are nothing compared to aesthetics. Number 8, Stoicism. It's on trend right now to write a leading man of action who is straight-faced, hardened, and stoic. He doesn't show any emotion because who doesn't love blandness? I know I do. But the good thing about being in a character's head is that no matter how stoic they are, we still experience what they're experiencing. We still feel what they feel. But none of that applies to this character because they're a badass. They shouldn't feel or experience any pain at all. Emotion may be the key to impactful writing, but this guy's the exception to the rule. It's way more engaging to read a fight scene that evokes zero reaction, to read an injury that causes zero pain. Hee that tickles. Remember what I said about high stakes, they're for suckers. Ditch the emotion because your character's too tough for that. he's a man. Number 9, blood and guts and explosions. Ugh. Fight scenes are exciting because obviously someone's gonna get hurt. There's gonna be blood. So with that considered, how do you take your fight scene to the next level? Buckets of blood! It's not enough for your character to get stabbed. You need each of their limbs severed and blood geysering from the stumps. It's not enough to decapitate your enemy. You need their brain to explode. As much grotesque bodily fluids as you can include, even if it's not at all medically plausible, write it in. I want the characters bleeding out of every orifice possible. Their eyes, their ears, their nose, their butts. If your fight scene's gore factor doesn't read like a D-list zombie movie, no one's gonna take it seriously. And number 10, the never-ending battle sequence. We all love a good fight that goes on and 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 on. If you're writing a 100-year war, it better take readers 100 years to get through it, am I right? Nothing amps up the excitement quite like endless repetition. You've already written this exact maneuver multiple times, but 10 more won't hurt. It never gets old reading the word parry a million times on the same page. Thrill a minute. Besides, there's something comforting about predictability, and that's exactly what you want your fight scenes to be. Comfortable. Ramble to your heart's content. If people wanted entertainment, they should have watched a movie, not read a book. So that's all I got for you today. Please keep in mind that these tips are sarcastic. You should not implement any of them. Please, for the love of God, I'm begging you. I've read too many bad fight scenes. I can't sleep at night. Thanks again to Pro Writing Aid for sponsoring today's video. If you need help during the self-editing process, and let's be real, we all do, Pro Writing Aid has got you covered. You can try them out for free or get 20% off your premium membership by clicking the link in the description below. Do it, get on it, save yourself some money. You will be so glad you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion and The Savior's Sister are available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook all over the place. So if you want to check out my #1 best-selling dark fantasy romance that's got a heaping dose of action and adventure and fight scenes, definitely check it out. I got it linked below. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, BookBub, and of course you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye!
Oh, hello there. I'm Layla, and I'm off to a meeting with a senator. While you're here, why don't you subscribe to Jenna's channel and ring the bell? That way you'll always know when her videos go live. It's the perfect distraction. I mean, entertainment. Well, off I go. Ignore the blade. It's just for show. Bye!